Hi, welcome to ADHD Friendly. I am Patty. I am an ADHD coach, noticing that my hair is a little frizzy today. It's gotten warm again, guys. It's okay. Can't control the weather. Can't control the weather. All right. Welcome to ADHD Friendly. I am here as an ADHD coach to support myself to thrive with ADHD. And I bring the things that I am trying out and exploring and learning and share them with you in the hopes that you do the same. If you'd like more support, I invite you to check out my ADHD Friendly membership. You can join at ADHDfriendly.com. It's where ADDers get more things done, including me. I am celebrating a new free tool that is available now. I'm going to talk about that. And then my tip is how to use the tool. So I'm going to break it down and share some details. And then our main topic today is how to break out of a contortion box. Ooh. And I mean that figuratively. So not like don't get yourself a contortion box and try to fit in it and then figure out how to get out. We're going to talk about how to break out of the boxes we put ourselves in, trying to make ourselves fit into neurotypical systems and tools.
I like it.
All right, so let's start, as we always do, with the celebration. I have a new free tool. Just going to highlight what it is. I printed it out. So this is a digital tool available on my website. It is the ADHD-Friendly Planning Toolkit, full of fun planning tools for you to explore. And every tool has a description. It has the blank tool for you to print out and use on your own. And then there's an example that I filled in so you can see how you might go about playing with it as you notice what works for you. I'm going to show you a bit more in just a minute when we get into our tool of the week, because that's it. So now let me update what I purchased this week. Mm-hmm. So I'm not wearing it like I was intending to when I was going to do this episode, but I did buy a Snoopy sweatshirt at Kohl's.
Cute.
It's super adorable. It was $29. It's so snuggly warm. Oh. It just has like the nice fleece lining inside. It's so stinking. And I got like an extra large. It's really like cozy and roomy. And nice. I wore it when I first got it, and now it's not the right temperature right now. Yeah, hoping by the time this comes out, it'll come out in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So as I'm recording this, it's September 10th, but this will come out on the 24th. I'm always 2 weeks ahead, or at least I try to be. And I'm really hoping for cooler weather ahead at that point. But I bought a sweatshirt that's very sparkly for the fall season. And then these were both impulse purchases this week. So that was one. But the other thing I purchased, and I don't regret it yet, but I haven't gotten them yet. So I purchased 4 little wooden puzzles that there's a website. No, this was my mistake. I went on Facebook because there was something on Facebook that I was like, oh, I have to see what that is. I haven't been on Facebook in probably a year. Like I just don't go on Facebook. Well, when I go on Facebook and I buy something. Yeah, of course. So this was from, and I don't know if they're still in business anymore. They were literally going out of business. They had like a countdown. There was like 17 hours left in the countdown.
Oh, yeah.
Could have been fake. I don't know. I really don't know. But everything was 80 to 92% off.
Oh, wow. That's a good
and they're literal wooden, like real wood puzzles. Yeah. So I got 4 of them from puzzleup.com, just like it sounds, puzzleup.com. And I have always wanted a real wooden puzzle since I learned that these were things. Yeah. They are so stinking expensive. I just never did it. So I'm going to show you pictures of 2 of them I got. The first one are these little midnight owls. Come on, look at the colors. Yeah. So this guy regularly $40, and I'm talking for like a 5-inch by 5-inch puzzle, a tiny little puzzle.
Wow. And it's usually $40.
Usually $40. I got it for $6.99. But look at, isn't that just the funnest thing? I thought it would be fun for Halloween. Yeah. Just, as like a little display. I just can't wait to get them to see if the little, all the comments talk about how satisfying it makes, like a little click sound when you put it. Ooh. I'm just like so excited to try this. And then my son is not going to watch this, so I can share. I got this little guy. It's a little cat puzzle with the Starry Night from Van Gogh, the cat looking at it. And it kind of looks like his little new kitten. So, I thought that'd be super cute. I got this in the large size, which I think is like 10 inches by 11 inches. So still really small. and the large size was like $29, I think, each. So I got 2 large sizes and 2 small sizes, and with shipping and everything, it was like $68 total for 4 of them. But they estimate they take like 5 to 7 hours each to do. I don't know why. I have no idea. So I'm super excited to give them a go.
Yeah.
I'll have more to update, I'm sure, once I get them and try them, and I might even like bring them on here, and maybe they'll be a product of the week if it's something sparkly, although I don't know if you'll be able to get it from Puzzle Up anymore, but we'll see. So those are the things I purchased. So now for my product of the week. So this is something that you can only get at Sam's Club, and it's a seasonal item. So I shared last week, I bought a new wreath, and it is still $39.98 at Sam's Club. It's a 26-inch harvest hydrangea wreath. I have been looking for fall wreaths for years. So I brought my old, you might remember this from before. I made it myself because when I go to like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or Home Goods or anywhere that they have pre-made wreaths, they are so stinking expensive. I don't care if it's like 50% off this week. It's so much money. I won't do it. I won't do it. Yeah. And they're typically smaller.
Right. They're not big.
No, 26-inch wreaths, I've learned, are the perfect size for my front door. Yep. So this was my previous one.
So cute.
Oh, that I made. I remember I actually sent a picture because one of my clients made their own fall wreath, and they sent me a picture, and it was stunning. It was stunning. It was like one of the ones that you would buy, and they made it themselves. And I'm like, this is the one I made. And the response was, oh.
Crafty. So I
literally just bought, little things of leaves, and like I was hot gluing them in there.
Great.
Okay, it looks okay. But look at the one I bought, and you've seen this. It's on the front door.
Yeah.
It's so stinking pretty.
So
I have to say, it was packaged beautifully. I did nothing. I opened the box, took it out, and hung it up. I didn't have to fuss with it. I didn't have to like straighten out any. It was good to go. So, and it was $39.98.
All right.
Which for a wreath this size and this quality,
yeah,
I have zero regrets, people. I have waited literally years and years and years. I've looked at them for years. I shared last year, I bought a Halloween wreath. I think I bought a new Christmas wreath. I think I'm done. And now I have a spring wreath. So I literally think I finally, for the first time ever, have a wreath for all the seasons. One of them stays up most of the year, and then the other ones pretty much get changed from now until January, and then that's it. So
nice.
I just am so happy about that. And I'm really happy that I waited, because I did have to tolerate this guy. And it's not terrible, especially from a distance, but you get up close to it, and it's like, I always think if somebody has to knock on my door, it's like, don't look at it. Just recognize it's a fall wreath, but don't pay attention. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. So anyway, I'm really excited about my new wreath, and I'm just sharing because it is still in stock as I'm recording this at Sam's. If you're looking for a fall wreath, personally, I just think it's beautiful. They have other ones that are more expensive. They have like 30-inch. They have like other options.
Do they have smaller ones?
I don't think there's a smaller one.
Okay.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Not that I remember, but there could be. I think they have one made out of leaves that might be smaller.
Okay.
Yeah. I just like the generic fall, where it'll stay September, October, November. Like it's good for 3 months. Although I will put in the scary Halloween. I look forward so I can kind of,
alternate.
Yes. And I'm mad at myself for not keeping the box from the Halloween one, because I thought I did, but it's a really big box.
Yeah, sure.
But I have to say, it does store them really, really nice. So I will definitely put this one, because it's so many flowers and things. I will put this one back in the box when I'm done. I saved it.
You want to make it last.
Yes, because it's an investment. And $40, I know it's not like a ton. A lot of people spend lots of money on these things. Not my thing. It obviously, I'm like, I buy this was probably, I know I bought this wreath, the form itself, when it was half off. And then I just, went like after the season and bought all of the little gourds and the leaves after the fall, so that the next season I could put it up, because that's kind of how I roll. It's so funny. Like I'll be really conscious about certain things, and other things I'm just like, I'm buying that, like the Snoopy sweatshirt. It's mine. I don't care. Get in it. All right. We should dive into that sometime. All right, on to my tip for this week. And it is my ADHD-friendly planning toolkit. So if you are on my mailing list, like if you already get announcements that the new podcast has dropped, or you get my newsletter every Friday, you already got this. You don't have to go back to my website and sign up for it. I sent it as a separate email. So check your inbox. It is already sent to you and yours to access for free. No need to do anything. If you are listening or watching this episode and you're like, I want mine, I totally get it. I love this thing. It took months to finish this. I'm so excited to have this done. It was one of my 2025 goals. It's just so sparkly to me. So you get a bonus planning lesson if you sign up for my email. So that's all you have to do is go in and sign up to get this free tool, and it's yours. Just, you can register with your email. As soon as you get it, you can unsubscribe if you don't want to get anything else from me. I'm not offended. Do what works for you. But then, oh, it's just my welcome. You don't need to see my welcome. I have a little quiz, really brief, that helps you to figure out what kind of planner works best for you. Full disclosure, the planners I'm going to be sharing tools to help you with are all physical, not digital. So these are helping you to see what kind of physical, concrete planning tools will help support your brain. So you answer a few questions. There's a code that tells you what types of planners would work. And then it tells you which of the examples are going to help you based on the answers that you gave. So then you can go, oh, if you're a visual planner, you might want to try, this tool. Like there's a weekly snapshot and it says best for visual planners and theme planners. I'm going to share the sticky note grid. So this is good for tactile planners and if you like a flexible schedule. So this is the description of the tool. This is the blank tool. Again, if you're listening to my podcast, I invite you to check out my YouTube channel, ADHD Friendly, so you can see everything I'm demonstrating. And so it literally just asks you, it tells you this instructions. It says for each task on a small sticky note, place it on the day you think you're going to do it. So literally you can put out your little sticky notes, write down the task you're trying to get done, and then you're targeting the day you want to get it done. It looks like this in practice. There's a little filled in example for you. What I love about the sticky notes, and it's why I wanted to share this one, because it is so tactile. Let's say you planned on Monday to call the vet and you just don't get to it. You take the little sticky note and you look, what other day this week can I move that to so that it doesn't get forgotten, but it still gets done this week.
Yeah.
And you can move it if you need to. But you can also see, well, if I don't do it today, I'm going to have to double up or triple up to get it done.
Yeah.
So it lets you see and make decisions with more ease. Because again, you're supporting your working memory by not having to keep all of that information in your head while you're trying to process and make a decision. You can look at it and see it and make a decision. So it's just a tool to help you get it out of your head and into something you can work with to get more things done with more ease. And it even has a little parking lot down here for things that you're like, yeah, I'd love to get these done, but they're not priorities. I'm not going to clutter up my to-do list with things that aren't essential this week. So I'm going to just go ahead and jot them down here. So you can keep it out, keep updating it as the week goes on and cross things off or take the sticky note off when you're finished, whatever works for you. So there are, I forget now as I'm looking at this, there are 4 tools included, as well as the quiz, in addition to the quiz, I should say, all for free. ADHDfriendly.com. Sign up to get yours today if you would like to help yourself plan with a little bit more ease. All right, now for our main topic, calling it breaking out of the contortion box. I had this thought. I was watching AGT with my husband over the summer, and like there's people that can just like twist and turn and they can fit into those, little square boxes, and they even can close the lid. And I thought about how that is how I feel sometimes with my ADHD. If I try to do something in the way that I would say, like the 95ers, like the 95% of people in the world just magically go get things done. If I try to do it that way, I am literally like bending myself and squeezing and really uncomfortable. And I think of it as making myself small. Like the only way I can do it is to try to hide that these are weak areas for me. And I'm trying to do something that I'm not good at. And when you think about all of that bending and curving to make yourself fit, it takes so much effort and energy that you're draining yourself before you even try to get the thing done. So I love the image of a contortion box because it can help to identify, like, wait a minute, I'll even like get small physically when I'm feeling like I'm like, oh, why am I bent over? Why am I, it's like I'm starting to contort.
Yeah.
So I want to stand up and I want to use my strengths. So let's use that image to help see when we're trying to do things that don't work for us easily, and then break out of it by exploring, okay, I know I need to get, let's like use the planning tool for an example. I need to get my week planned, but if I use this neurotypical planner, I don't have good experience with that. So go with your intuition, do what works for you. Or if you take the little quiz, maybe you'll get a better sense of what could work for you with a little bit more ease, so that it's sparkly and it's pulling you into using it. So I want to share some examples of what this might look like. So some neurotypical routines are maybe like a morning routine that requires you to be up at 5 and do everything in a very set order. Unless that works for you, unless that's already like how you roll, that's not very ADHD friendly for a lot of people with ADHD. Also, planners that have tons of prompts and boxes, it can look really sparkly. It's like, oh, I love this. It has a tracking place. It has a place where I can color in when I drink water and write all my tasks and fill in my thoughts and write down my wins and write down what I'll do differently tomorrow, whatever. That is very sparkly, maybe, if that, is something that you see and you're like, ooh, I like this. I have space for everything. But we'll get very bogged down in the expectation we'll put on ourselves to fill everything in. And it's not sustainable for most of us. So we might initially find planners sparkly and then never use them. And I have bins of planners as my proof that that is totally me. So we try to make these systems that aren't made for us work. They make us feel small. They make us feel broken. They make us feel as though we aren't enough or we don't have what we need to be successful. And it's exhausting. So here's my break out of it. I want you to never stay small. I want you to stand tall. So we're aligning ourselves, like sitting up straighter. We're aligning ourselves with our strengths. And that's what helps us to create our own pathway forward. So we're not doing the contortion. We're doing the, I am enough. I am able to use my strengths to get things done my way. So if we let go of the rigid schedules and we use flexible time blocks, flexible scheduling, whatever it is that we need, or we plan our week around our energy and our focus time. So like I always say, like, I'm a good energetic in the morning person. I record these first thing in the morning. When Becca gets here, I'm like, let's go, we're recording. If I tried to do this at 4 or 5 in the afternoon, it's probably going to spike, because when you edit last week's that I recorded without you, you're gonna tell I felt so low energy just talking by myself. I was like, this is totally coming through, and I could feel it, but I was also knew there's nothing I can do about it. I was talking to Mushu, who was just like she is today. She's just laying there snoozing, not giving me anything back energetically. She just wasn't up to her Becca standard. So tying things to what you know works for you with your own natural rhythms, with the times that you're more likely to be able to do the thing you're planning to do. We want to have, as much as we can, things set up in the way that we are more likely to be successful. So we're not setting ourselves up to fail. So how do we do this? I always say like, that's great. That sounds wonderful. But what does that look like? So I want to give you some examples. So first, notice when you're finding yourself contorting, when you're starting to, kind of bend and make things work. If you're starting to feel stressed, like whatever that looks like for you, ask yourself, what could I do to make this my way? What could I implement? What's the thing? Like I always have to get into a physical tool. If I'm feeling overwhelmed, my go-to is to brain dump, to get it out of my head and into something I can see. Either it's a digital file or it's a physical, notepad or something where I'm like, I just got to get this out of my head so I can think about it. Maybe you're going to inject one of your strengths. So if you're creative, maybe you're, I know a lot of people that love to use all different colors when they're planning, and it's very sparkly. If that works for you, fabulous. Or maybe humor. So maybe you're like naming different events, fun things, or drawing funny little emojis or something next to events that you have going on. Like, so like maybe you have like, this is just a slant on in-laws. I hope to one day be an in-law, but for my kids. I am an in-law for like
Yeah.
my current, but it's like, let's say my future son-in-law, whoever, or daughter-in-law one day put like having dinner with in-laws, and it was like me and my husband, and they put a, like one of those funny, right? So it's like, think about injecting something that pulls your strengths up and uses them to make planning, whatever you're trying to do, a little bit lighter, a little bit easier. Another example of a strategy is to give yourself permission to experiment when and where it's appropriate. So if you're working in an environment that you're expected to use, let's say like a specific computer system, and you're not able to experiment with something else because this is the program that they use, so you have to conform, that's not maybe going to be the place that you're going to, be encouraged to experiment, because they don't want you using something else. They want you using the thing everybody else is using. But maybe you're experimenting with when you do the bulk of entering information or interacting with the program. So you're doing it when your brain is energized and fueled and is able to tolerate whatever it is you're trying to learn or do with it with more ease. But just experiment when and where it's appropriate. And if you have the flexibility like I do with creating my own schedule, it's really allowed me to lean into paying attention to, well, what does work for me? And I was telling Becca, I had a little like things going on yesterday, and I had to interact socially with people that I didn't know several times yesterday, going into the evening. And by the time it was like 5:30 or 6, I was kind of like, if anybody else rings my doorbell, I'm not home. I'm not, like, I wanted to close all the blinds and shut down things because I'd worked all day, and then I was interacting with people, and I'm just done at that point.
Yeah.
So, an example, if you're working in an office that maybe you share like an open workspace, which I know a lot of people do today, and you are really distracted by somebody moving paper, somebody tapping a pen, somebody typing on a loud keyboard, whatever it is, somebody sniffing because they have a cold. There's so many things that can pull our attention. If there's a quiet space that you could go and work for a bit, so you're not asking necessarily for, or maybe you're asking for an accommodation to have a quieter space, but if you just, the reality is you just need a quiet place to go make a phone call because you have to call a client and you don't do well managing that call with those distractions, or you have a little telephonophobia and you don't want to do the call where other people could overhear you. Yeah, you just maybe find an office that isn't being used, or a conference area that you could kind of like say, I'm going to be in here for about 20 minutes. Please don't disturb me. And you put a little sign on the door, but just experiment with what would work for you to be able to make the situation a little bit better for your brain. And then finally, my go-to, capture what you notice works for you in your personal owner's manual. So your POM, so that you have tools that you can go back to and reconnect with and use over and over again, because you started capturing what you notice works. So instead of trying to make something designed for somebody else in mind work for you, take it and say, well, what would I change to make this work better for me? So just a way to flip it. So if you're ready to try this a little bit this week, pick one thing that you do in a way that you feel like you have to contort yourself, whether it's using a planner, whether it's your routine for morning or evening, whether it's, anything that you have to do that you have some control over how you approach it. Explore options that use your strengths. So we want to create spark, and you'll know because you'll feel it. You'll literally feel that alignment happening. So instead of curving and twisting, you'll be like sitting up straighter. You'll feel that confidence coming. You're like, ooh, I want to try this, instead of, oh, I have to go do that. You're literally going to feel it. And then just notice how it goes as you try it out. So go with what's sparkly, experiment. When you're experimenting, stay curious, because you'll notice if you're open to paying attention to what you're noticing, if it doesn't go well, we're experimenting. We're not judging. We're just, oh, well, that's interesting. I thought that was going to be so easy. I have this happen all the time when I do a morning tweak, and I'm like, oh, I'm totally going to do that. 6:15 tomorrow morning, I am walking. And then at like 6:10, I'm like, I am really behind. I don't see myself being out there walking by 6:15. All right, what do I need to change? If I just judge it, like, there I go again. Apparently I can't. Nope. It's, that's interesting. I thought 6:15 was going to be the perfect time. Well, now that I'm in that time, let me think about what I would judge. Let me make my time tomorrow 6:25. I think that would be easier, or whatever. Just stay curious, notice how it goes, and continue moving forward with the new information. Being ADHD friendly with yourself is about thinking about it less and doing more. So if you're trying to get out of bed, don't think about all the things you have to do as soon as you get up. Don't think about how you told yourself you're going to get up. This was your plan. Why? Think less, do more.
Yeah.
Think enough to decide, and then do it what you can to get into action, because we don't want to contort ourselves to fit in. We want to do what we need to do to stand out. And that's what Dr. Seuss always said, right? When you were born to stand out by doing it your way so that you're thriving more and struggling less. All right, on to the final piece. And that is always the book of the week. I shared last week, I did the Little House series of books over the summer, which I really did enjoy. Then I realized I had never read Anne of Green Gables. You're a fan.
I am.
I have never read them. I'm now on the second book, dragging a little bit because I have all these books that came in at the same time. So I'm like, all right, I can get back at that at any time, because I'd say Anne of Green Gables is always available.
This is true.
Yeah. So, but I did read the first one. So this is by L.M. Montgomery. I can't remember what, I think it stands for Laura or something. I forget what the L.M. stands for.
Yeah.
It is a woman that wrote these. I gave this a 4.5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. And the reason why, besides it was just a sweet story that I totally just found myself having so much fun getting into.
Yeah.
I literally found myself going through the book going, this girl has ADHD. This girl has got to have ADHD. And of course, ADHD was not a term applied back then, but I decided to search, is there like any other people out there? Because there must be, because I'm certainly late to the table when it comes to reading Anne of Green Gables. Yeah. And I found this. It said, yes, these are some things that are highlighted in the book that lend some people to believe that maybe she would be in present day times diagnosed with ADHD, and is easily distracted, forgetful, and often loses her things. She does. She has a lot of energy. She's restless, and she has a really hard time sitting still. And she's impulsive. She acts without thinking. She makes rash decisions. And this is the thing she does the most. She blurts out her thoughts before considering them. She was constantly saying things and not realizing. And she had good intentions. She never thought, oh, maybe they'll take that. She just said whatever was in her mind, didn't think about whether that was rude. It was just, I have to say this. So I thoroughly enjoyed that part of her, because I totally resonated with the challenges that presented for her, the judgments that she received. But I loved how resilient she was. She was so positive that for the most part, there were times that she'd get a little down, but for the most part, she was like, have you ever seen, what is that lake called? And he was like, oh, that's Barren Lake or whatever. And she's like, it's the lake of sparkling waters. That's what I'll call it from now on. And I was like, oh my gosh, this girl is too much.
Positivity.
Yeah. And just like how she like named things, she was like, that's not a worthy name for that lake at all. So I really did enjoy it. So if you have not had a chance and this interests you, it was a quick read. It was a fun read. It took you back to a simpler time, no devices, no, not a lot to clog our brains with, just a nice,
sweet story,
comfortable, sweet book. And the movie, I did watch the movie from, I think it's from the 70s.
Okay. I know the mini series from like the 80s.
Maybe it is the 80s. Yeah, because I only finished the first DVD.
Like
and yes, that's what I'm watching. I haven't even started the second one yet, but I got them from the libraries. Yes. Oh, it's so sweet. I really do like it.
Yeah.
Oh, and their whole rivalry, so stinking funny. It was so funny. Like, she can hold a grudge like nobody's business. Oh my gosh. But then other people she forgives, like, for anything they do. Oh my gosh. I totally, I know. Just I mean, clearly there's going to be some, that's why I want to read the next one. Like, what happens with Gilbert down the road? I want to know.
So good.
See? Keeps going. All right. Quote from the week. It is from Anne of Green Gables. And this, I wrote two things because I just thought they were really just so Anne. She said, the first one is, next to trying and winning, the next best thing is trying and failing. Oh, and that's so great with what we just talked about just trying your own way, experiment and notice what works. And then her second quote, and this because this comes out leading into October, I had to say this. She said, I am so glad to live in a world where there are Octobers.
Oh, that's perfect.
Right? Thank you, Anne.
Yeah.
So good.
So
glad that I finally got on the bandwagon and read Anne of Green Gables with everybody else that read it as a child.
Yeah.
Apparently I did not read a lot as a kid. Like, clearly, if I didn't even read the books on my favorite TV show when I was growing up. So that's it. That's it for this episode 205. If you have anything that you would like to add, if you try any of the tools, if you get my ADHD-friendly planning toolkit, it is a toolkit because it's multiple tools, all for free. ADHDfriendly.com to get yours. Just enter your email. You'll get it in the mail within minutes. Enjoy. But let me know. I'd love feedback if something works for you or if something doesn't work for you. I don't know what I don't know if you don't share it. So as you know, use kind words if possible to support my rejection sensitivity, but I really do want to hear from you if there's something that you want to share. That's it for this episode. I hope to see you next time. Tally ho.